Ever found yourself stuck wondering whether to say to do or doing? It seems like such a tiny detail, but trust me, getting it wrong can completely flip the meaning of what you're trying to say. So let's figure this out once and for all.
Okay, just look at this classic example. I stopped to smoke versus I stopped smoking. One of these means you quit the habit for good. The other means you paused whatever you were doing just so you could have a cigarette. See that? Two completely different stories, and the only thing that changed was one little word.
This is exactly the kind of mix-up we're going to clear up today. I promise, by the end of this, you're going to know exactly which one to choose every single time without even thinking about it.
The best way to think about this is like a competition between two teams. You've got team to infinitive on one side and team VING on the other. Each one has its own rules, its own personality, and its own set of verbs. So, let's meet the players.
First up, we have team to infinitive. Now, this team's whole strategy is about looking ahead. They're all about the future, thinking about goals, intentions, and what's coming up next. So here's the key thing to remember. When you see a verb followed by to plus another verb, it's almost always pointing towards a purpose, a plan, or a desire. It's all about something that hasn't happened yet, but you want it to.
And here are the star players for this team. You've got verbs that show you want something, like want, plan, or decide. Then you have verbs that are all about effort, like promise or manage. And finally, you've got these verbs of appearance, like seem or pretend. They're all looking forward.
For instance, she wants to study medicine. The studying, well, that's a future goal, right? It's her intention. You can see how the word want points forward to the action of studying.
Or how about this one? He managed to fix the car. This really highlights the effort he put in to get a result, a car that works. That infinitive, to fix, was the goal he was aiming for.
All right, let's meet the competition. Now, Team Ving, they couldn't care less about the future. They are all about what's happening right now, what happened in the past, and just general experiences and habits.
Yeah, the whole personality of Team Ving is about talking about actions as just general ideas, things you do regularly or things you've already done. It's more about describing the activity itself, not the plan to go and do it.
And the verbs on this team are often about feelings, like enjoy or hate. They can be about processes, finish, avoid, keep on. But hey, pay really close attention to that last point. This is a golden rule. If you have a verb plus a preposition, like insist on or think about, the very next verb is always going to be in the ing form. It's an amazing shortcut. So if you say, I enjoy reading historical novels, you're not making a future plan. You're just making a general statement about an activity you like. You're talking about the whole experience of reading. And this is a perfect example of that preposition rule. Because of that little word on, the verb that comes next has to be paying. He insisted on the action of paying. Simple as that.
Okay, so we've met the two teams, but what happens when a verb can play for both sides? This is where it gets really, really cool. These are the rule breakers, the verbs where the form you pick totally changes the meaning of the sentence. Let's start with remember. If you say, I remember locking the door, that means you have a memory, a picture in your head of a past action. But if you say, remember to lock the door, that's a reminder about something you need to do in the future. See the difference? Past memory versus future task?
And here we are back at our very first example. To stop smoking means you've quit the habit. It's over. But to stop to smoke means you stopped doing something else, like walking, specifically for the purpose of having a cigarette. One is quitting, the other is just pausing. Try is another fantastic one. Try pressing this button is like a suggestion, an experiment. Come on, just see what happens. But if you say try to press this button, it implies it's difficult. You have to really make an effort, and you might not even pull it off. Regret also has this split personality. I regret telling her means you feel bad about something you already did. It's a past mistake. But we regret to inform you is that super formal, forward-looking phrase people use to deliver bad news. It's not about a past mistake. It's about the bad news that's coming.
And finally, we have go on. If someone went on talking, they just didn't stop. They continued the same activity. But if they went on to talk about something new, that means they finished one subject and then moved on to a different one. It's the difference between continuing and changing gears.
Whew, okay. That was a lot to take in, I know.
So let's boil it all down into one simple, powerful cheat sheet that you can actually use.
This is pretty much everything you need to know all in one place. You can really see the pattern here, right? Two infinitives for those future plans, like want to join. The ing form is for general habits, like enjoy playing. And right below that, you've got our tricky rule breakers like remember and stop, laid out so you can see the difference crystal clear. This contrast, this is the whole game.
So I'll leave you with this thought. Now that you know the rules of the game, what are you going to start noticing out in the real world? In movies, in songs, in everyday conversations. You've basically got a new superpower now. So go out and start listening. You'll be surprised at what you hear.